All right, so here we're going to be doing timing belt and water pump replacement. I currently have the front of the engine, which is on the passenger side, jacked up so that we could drain the coolant. And here's this AC Delco parts, belt, water pump, and all the pulleys and bolts. You are not supposed to reuse these off the vehicle, so make sure some kits don't even come with a water pump. You can like mix and match parts. Buy the whole kit. If you're doing the timing belt, you might as well do the water pump because you have to remove it all anyway, so you might as well just make it brand new again. So anyways, we're gonna come up underneath here, and right there, if you could see it, is the radiator drain. I'm gonna use a 13 millimeter, and I'm also going to slide a tube up and over, I think. Oh, I might need a bigger tube, which is fine. I just have to run back downstairs. Yep, okay, I need a bigger tube. I know it's not really visually spectacular for you right now. There we go. It's a slow drain, but it's draining. You don't need a hose after all. So to speed up this process, we're going to undo this. And you can hear it draining a lot faster, I think. All right. While that's draining, we can move on to the next stuff. So a little red tab back here, pull it. Get that off. All right, if you're like me, you drop your bit down in there. This whole box it's a press in, so you just slide it out the side. Get this hose removed, and you can just pull the whole box out. Now we got to get this tire off. A 19 millimeter. Okay, here we go. Little itty bitty tires, itty bitty rotors. Wow, kind of looks like a donut. So anyways, we're gonna do the boring stuff first. We're gonna go ahead and get the wheel well taken out. So later on, when we have to do everything, we're not stopping to do all this little tedious stuff. So while I have this tool in my hand, we're gonna go ahead and start. One up top there, one hidden back here. All right, with a T15 torque split, we can go and get this one out. Some right. And with the 10mm. Just in the middle. No, it's plastic. Now, that should be it. How is raw? Oh, another plastic clip down here. And still not done yet. More plastic clips right here. This is all one solid piece. Wow, there's still a whole bunch of Okay, now we're back up top. Only thing I was missing on the bottom, I guess there was another Torx bolt somewhere, so I got that off. I remove this cover. These are supposed to be an E10. We'll see what they actually are. They are an E10. Okay. To make things easier, because we are going to be taking off a lot of stuff, put everything back in. There's the top part of your timing belt. So next we're going to, you have another jack or have your car up on jack stands. I have the option of both, but you're going to want to support the bottom of the engine by lifting up on the oil pan. Now you don't want to jack the entire vehicle up. You just want to make sure you got enough pressure on it so that when you unloosen those top motor mounts, your engine doesn't go too far. Alright, so now you're going to get a 15mm, and these three hold the engine mount to the engine mount bracket. I want to take these all the way out. Just want to loosen them to see what they're going to do. See how it dropped a little bit more, so now I want to go ahead and jack up the engine back a little bit more. That's why you want to go slow, because you do want to keep them, or keep the engine at the same height at all times. So it's pretty close. Now that that's all, since your engine's properly supported, the 315mm bolts holding on to the frame. So get that out of here. Like I said, I like to keep it all built as best as I can. All right, we're going to have to remove this, the Serpentine belt. Now, you're going to need a 19mm, but you're going to need one of these. I think it's like a 12 point or 20 point. I'll leave a link in the description, but can't think of the name right now. So anyways, you want this definitely in a 1/2 inch or a much longer breaker bar. This may or may not cut it. We're going to try it out. Oh, it's going to go right here. Okay. Gonna go counterclockwise. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, that is not, like I said, you want as much leverage as you can get. This right here is not really a lot. Okay. Yeah, that could have been way easier. So now you know what to have before you start this job. Because let me tell you, it's so much easier. Here's a Serpentine belt. Hopefully they provide a diagram on how to put that back, because I didn't really look it up, to be honest with you. And the paperwork on it on how to do this job is, here's what it looks like. Gives what for each vehicle that this AC Delco part fits, which is most of them, ranging from Suzuki, Pontiac, Saturn, Chevy. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. All right, so we're back down here. Now we're going to have to remove this tensioner pulley. It's an E14. I'll leave a link in the description. You can buy this nice little kit. Actually, I have every one of their kits, from Allen bits to Torx bits, and there's a couple other things, but never had a problem with them. Never heard of them, but never had a problem with them. And lifetime warranty, I guess, so that's great. Come on, almost there. Here that is. All right, so with an E18 for that bolt, we're gonna spin this. Now, a little notch right there. We need the notch on that wheel right there to match. To make the video shorter, I'm gonna have to just do this without showing you. All right, so I have the crankshaft lined up perfectly. Now, see if your top's at dead center. You're gonna wanna look at that dot and that dot, which they're not facing each other. So that means you're not aligned properly. So that means you got to go around Oh, one more time. And again, 1/2-inch tools with breaker bar would be, like I said, so much better for this. Oh, shit. Okay. This is just too small, as you can see. Just plenty of light. We're almost there. Bingo, we're perfect down here. Yep, those lights suck too. Okay, so I spun it once more. There's this dot on that one, and then there's an indent on that sprocket right there. So there's gonna be our top dead center. Now, just out of paranoia, just in case something fails, which I can't find my metallic marker, this sucks, kind of hard to see. All right, that's it for that. So that's how you know your top dead center. Got it matching with the cutout on the crankshaft. All right, so I'm gonna come up top and remove the engine mount. All right, GoPro battery died, so I had to swap one. Wow. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that sucks. And like I said, if you have a longer breaker bar, I just ordered an 18-inch right now, so that'd be a perfect size. Like I did before. Set that up like so. There, now that bracket is off. All right, sorry about that. So on a quick trip to the store, got me a bunch of new fancy tools. Couldn't believe I didn't have. Since they did not have a longer 3/8 in stock, went ahead and bought the Craftsman 1/2 to 3/8 adapter so that I could get some more leverage. Got that lined up. Again, I only have 1/2-inch tools, so unfortunately I had to wait until I got this adapter. But take off this E18. Get off. Take this pulley off. That's what it looks like. It's down there like that, so we're gonna set this off to the side. Now, it's still lined up. Hope you can see that in there. So we're gonna put the bolt back in without without that, without the washer. So now we got to remove this cover right here. It's E10. There's those two, and there should be some more up there. We're gonna see if we can get them from the top, which we can. They're right here, so awesome. Okay, that one we're gonna need a swivel because it's right next to that pulley. And now that no longer fits. Awesome. Finish the rest out by hand. All right, now that that's off, it just falls and hits the ground. Go ahead and get these screws and put them back. And that's still perfectly lined up there. Let's check up here. And it's still lined up top, so that's good. All right, so this little center bracket's just held on plastic clips. Okay. I was thinking that was going to be a lot harder than what that was. So anyways, that'll go ahead and expose the rest of the belt and everything. Alright, so now's the time to install the lock. I don't know, the kit I bought was crap. I had to actually modify these. I had to shave it down quite a bit for it to fit in there. It took me actually, yeah, it took me the longest so far to do that. All right, next we're going to come to the back of the motor. You're going to see the silver cooling pipe, I'm assuming, and you got your oil filter cartridge. We got to get down here to get that 15mm bolt, which I'll go from underneath to get it. All right, so one underneath the vehicle exhaust. Here's that 15mm bolt. A lot of broken stuff underneath here. Okay, mine's not a bolt, mine's a nut. It said it should be a bolt. So I'm trying to figure out, did I get the right one? Which is the only one over here. All right, no, this is the right one. So anyways, here's the tool part you're gonna need. Slide up in there like so. So with an H6 Allen bolt, or a bolt head, but yeah, any kind of bit, I'm just going to do this. We're going to move it clockwise. We can remove the belt. Give it a couple jiggles. Everything's still lined up, so here's the old belt. Alright, now if you're going to buy the whole kit, you're going to have to remove the tensioner and the idler pulley. They're T50 Torx bits, and you will need to purchase new ones. They're aluminum. There's that one. Okay, rock the engine so I can get my... Anytime you're using air tools or anything, yeah, you just don't back it out all the way. I keep forgetting not to do that, so... There, those pulleys are out. Alright, so we're going to start off with this one. Allen key faces down, little black thing. It'll fit in that little slot up in there. Or maybe face it all the way right. Here goes. So that one is 40 foot-pounds. We're going to do the idler pulley. Again, these are all brand new bolts. That's going to be... Alright, so the new timing belt. It took me a couple times of trials and errors, but I figured out, watched a couple videos. Each video, guy by himself just did it no problem. It's not the case for me, but I figured out how to do it. So how I'm going to do it is get it around the bottom first. There. Make sure it's all the way around the bottom first. We'll come back up here. Hold it while we're pulling up. So then we'll go over the pulley. Now I'm gonna watch for slack. There can't be any slack right here. So once we get to this point, it's gonna get kind of tough. So the T55, we're just going to move this a little bit. It goes back to default, so it's not like you're moving the timing off or anything. See? I'll do this just enough so we can get the teeth. Oh, and as soon as you let it go, there we go. See, there's no slack. So now we'll take it up and over here, no slack, and then with the H6 or 6mm, we'll put it there. Like I said, this where it helps to have a second set of hands so you can get this belt up and over that, because it is tight in there. But there. All right, there we go. Now we want to check the bottom. Perfect. Let's push it all the way in. Awesome. And we're still top dead center. Well, and as long as you got those two lines, and it goes to this one, that's how you know your timing's all still exactly where you had it. The timing belt's in there nice and tough. Now, I will say with this tensioner pulley, how this Allen key is supposed to be down, actually be over here. This little black notch sits like this. It'll kind of sit, here's kind of how it'll look, like that. This be in between two aluminum pieces on the block, and then this will be off to the right. That's how you're supposed to do it. I'll make sure I put that in the make sure it's up on your screen when I tell you to do it. Make sure you guys do it the right way. All right, so what I was trying to say was, like a T55, put it right here, and just, you can't move it now because it's, but yeah, you would just rotate this clockwise a little bit. Now we can get rid of this, and yep, everything's on there nice. And then we can take a 15mm right here, come back underneath the car, and remove this one. All right, so we're back down underneath with the E18. I'm just gonna go ahead and crank the engine over twice, or turn it over, just so we can see that everything's lining up properly. Okay. There's one rotation. Now we'll do one more. There we go. All right. We are aligned. And we are aligned. All right. Everything's good. So let's get that. Let's get the timing cover back on. Well, it's not timing cover, but you know. Okay. Okay, let's take this. We're gonna go ahead and tighten up those 4 E10 bolts. All right. Here's that center cover. Set it down on top of here. Hear that snap. Okay, next I'm gonna put back this tensioner. Oh. You do need extra room. You can always just lower this jack to get the engine back down, but I'm gonna try to do it without it. All right, there it is, in. I know you can't see, and I apologize, but now we're gonna put this back up. So what I'm gonna do is bring the engine back up. So we can get these bolts back in here. Should be the same size. Yeah, they're all the same. Okay. This one's kind of hidden up underneath here. Come on. There we go. Hope you guys can see that right there. Here's your second one. Now that I got two, I can go ahead and start it. Two. And the third one's in this bottom left corner, which you or I cannot see, but those two lined up. This third one's gonna line up like so. Then we'll go ahead and get those tightened down. So the E18, we're gonna go ahead and remove this. Which you can get rid of this one, because you got to buy a new one, or should buy a new one. And this only goes on one way. Like so. Okay. Tight. Now we get to put the serpentine belt back on. So I know the title says I'm going to be replacing the water pump, but unfortunately, before I took off the serpentine belt, I decided to ignore these 3 bolts to get this pulley off the pump. So I'm going to have to put the serpentine belt on, undo those 3 bolts and then take this back off. I know, kind of a pain, but that's what I get. In case you need a picture of the diagram, here's what it should look like. Not sure how good that's going to turn out on my GoPro. All right, so now that you got it over the alternator and water pump, I got it laying down. So we're gonna have to bring this up and over here while it's going over the crankshaft and the AC compressor down here. There, kind of got it lined up as close as I can get it. Extra set of hands would be great. So once you slide it up over this tensioner, I'm gonna get a bigger breaker bar. All right, much bigger breaker. Oh, much easier. There we go. There. Double check, make sure they're over all the pulleys. Perfect. All right, so as far as the water pump goes, I know I was gonna have that for you guys, but can't do it. Cannot get these 3 Torx bits, bolts off. Even if I try to spin it with the belt on, it just spins this pulley. There's nothing I have. I've tried to jam stuff back here, try to hold the pulley while you turn, and it just keeps on moving. So I'm at a loss. So I'm gonna go ahead and just call that one and say it's done. Can't do anything else for it. All right. Don't forget to put back the 13mm pet cock or drain cock over there. And since everything else is done, I'm gonna go ahead and get the gross inner wheel well put back in. Before we get too crazy down there, we're going to put back timing chain cover, the 2 E10 bolts. That. Okay. Now it's not really gonna match at the moment, so I'm gonna lower down the engine. Not far enough. The engine down a little bit. Okay, I'll lower it down a little bit more. 15 millimeter. Yeah, rock it a little bit to put it back to where it was. That perfect. Make sure it's in this slot so it can suck in the air properly, filtered it, send it back through. Okay, it's pushed in. All right, now that we got all that, we'll put that last 10 millimeter nut on right here. Get that down, and that's how you do the timing belt. Yeah, that's how you do the timing belt. All we gotta do is refill the reservoir, bleed out all the air into the cooling system, and that'll be it. Kind of a long video, try to make it as short as possible. It's just a lot of steps here. Yeah, like I said, the biggest thing is getting this pulley off before removing the serpentine belt the first time. Actually, you just gotta loosen them up. That's all you gotta do. And then that's when you can take the belt off. And like I said, when you got the new belt on, just move those sprockets a tiny bit. It doesn't matter whether it's the exhaust side or what. Just move the sprocket a tiny bit just to lock those teeth into that new belt. And That's how you get it to lock in.